What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Ho to Husband Podcast. I'm your host, Terry DeRon. I got both of my co-hosts on the line with me. I got my man, Jay Babo. What's good, man?
Not much, man. Glad to be back on it after a great Memorial Day weekend here. But I just want to remind you, if you're not already following us or subscribing to us, make sure you follow us on TikTok as well. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Ho to Husband Podcast. And if you're a business that's interested in advertising with us or interested in promos, you can shoot us a DM at Ho to Husband Podcast, as well as email us at hoetohusbandpodcast@gmail.com. All right, T.
Also got my man SD in the building. What's good, man?
Nothing, man. Glad to be back in town. Ready to get this here episode underway, man. But first, I want to give a shout out to Brother Soul Productions for always keeping the background audio fresh, and remind you all to donate to the Ho to Husband Podcast on Cash App and PayPal. All right, T.
I want to remind everybody, y'all can catch the audio playback of the podcast every Monday afternoon at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time on thecore94.com. Tonight's episode is titled Where's Wifey? And we just wanted to have a discussion on the male perspective on today's dating climate. But before we get into that, y'all know how we do it around here on the Ho to Husband Podcast. We like to discuss stuff that we've seen trending or on our timelines. And this first video is something that has gone viral, where a former NFL player is on trial for murder as a result of his ex-girlfriend's behavior. Let's take a look.
Why'd you want to smash his car window?
Like I said, it wasn't intentional. I was just throwing things because I was upset.
And when you were throwing things, you were also screaming things at him, like you were going to send your brother Keyshawn over to kill him, right?
Never, ever, ever said the word kill at all.
Okay, so...
4 men showed up at his front door.
And you told both of them that Travis had picked you up and slammed you to the ground, right?
Yes.
And that he had disrespected you.
Yes.
And you also sent a text message to Keyshawn at roughly 9:45 that Travis dropped you to the ground. You remember that?
Yep.
And in response to that text message, Keyshawn sent a group text message to you and Tyler Robinson that Travis is a dead man walking. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that's the message that you deleted from your phone, right?
No, I deleted the his.
Oh, man. We all know men or boys that have lost their lives or have been seriously injured off of the lies of a woman. There are plenty of men that are in jail because of women that fabricate stories like this. And in this particular case where you send people to a man's house in the middle of the night and somebody ends up losing their life. This really frustrated me an awful lot because there's no accountability for her. Like her smug attitude on the stand,
Yep.
she's the source of the problem, and she's not facing any repercussions for her actions.
Yep. Man, you know, it really pissed me off because, like you said, she is the one who orchestrated all of this. And it was all based on lies. She told her brother he hit me, he slammed me, he did all of this stuff. And now out in cross-examination, it was all a lie that cost this young man his life. She said, hey, go over there and shoot his crib up. And then she's just sitting there, all, no accountability, no responsibility for her actions. She's like, yep, I sent that message. Yep, that was the one. That's because there are no consequences for her. And This is why a lot of women continue to do what they do out here, because they have no consequences for their actions and nobody telling them the truth. She should be just as responsible. She should be more responsible, because, you know, anytime now when somebody go out and commit a crime or something and they're together like two friends and one friend gets killed, the other one,
you part of the
yeah, they get charged with the murder. That should be her right now, getting charged with murder for sending them over there on a lie. And the crazy part is, The whole time she was married while dealing with this football player and never told him. She said, well, he never asked. In another clip, he never asked. You a married woman. This chick here, man. Boy, I tell you, y'all got to really watch out with these chicks out here.
You really do. I mean, it just shows the level of narcissism that this woman had. I mean, she was so cavalier on the stand, answering those questions, and it's reminds me of the situation. I know I think we referenced this on the podcast before, but the situation, Romeo from Steve Harvey, Marilyn Santana, got killed in a similar situation back in 2002, where he was messing with the chick, went to us, said he did X, Y, and Z to me, and got shot and lost his life over that. Nothing happened to the woman. She didn't go to jail over that.
Yeah, man, it's very common. A lot of guys try to, because from her brother's perspective, he's protecting his sister. Even though that's very reckless to just go randomly shooting up somebody's house and doing all that. That's a very that mentality, right. Period. But I can understand a guy hearing his sister been attacked, wanting to go fight the dude or teach him a lesson or whatnot. Those type of situations happen all the time. And when it's actual domestic violence, a lot of times it's warranted. You know what I mean? But in a situation like this where it's a lie, you know what I mean? I don't understand how this ain't self-defense. Because if 4 dudes come to your house in the middle of the night after they sister just told them, you know what I'm saying, that you abuse her or whatnot, man, that's protect. I'm glad, that they say the saying, I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. That's real, man.
Yeah. It's crazy because had he not had that AR-15, he likely would have been dead in front of his front door right there. Because they came with guns. It wasn't like they just came with beer bottles and some knives. These dudes came guns blazing.
That's the difference for me. You showed up. Now, if they didn't have no weapons and he just started shooting, okay, cool. Bro, you can't do that. You should have just called the police. But they showed up with guns to his crib. And he didn't know that she said, hey, come shoot his crib up. He didn't know that. But all he knows is he got 4 dudes outside his house. And I'm sure he probably seen a weapon or they said they had guns or something like that. So I feel bad for this dude, man, because he had his own house, mind his own business, and he didn't do nothing to Shorty. She broke his phone. If you watch the other clips, she broke his phone. She broke his PlayStation. She busted him over the head with a trophy. And this man had every right to knock her smooth on her, you know what? Because all the stuff she was doing to him, and he didn't. And he's still on trial for murder, and she get to go home.
They never pay attention. They never give a man any credit for the restraint. You know what I'm saying? Because even if a man lets a woman hit her multiple times, that one punch back, he'll get charged and penalized, and they'll make it like he's the aggressor or he's the bad guy in the situation. And that's why it's so infuriating. Just how unfair it is from the male POV.
But fellas, I want to go with just a different direction for a second here. I think there's a teachable moment here in this, right? Is with some of these women, especially some of these crazy ones, because this woman strikes me as somebody that's emotionally unstable. I mean, what we saw in the ring, that clearly wasn't a one-off. She's done this before. So if a woman's willing to put hands on you, get violent with you, I'd say just leave her alone. Now, listen, I ain't gonna hold you, fellas. Some of those crazy chicks got some of the best pussy out there. I'm not even gonna hold you, but it's not. But when you deal with chicks like this that's emotionally unstable, you're literally risking your life, and it's just not worth it.
Yeah, man, and it's one of those things, man. I don't care about what her sex like. I want peace in my life. I don't want all of this nonsense. So I'm sure he's seen this way before this night. I'm almost positive. And like you said, man, we sometimes we as people are the masters of our own issues and troubles in our lives, man, because we don't leave people alone when we should have left them alone. When we see certain things or red flags or deal breakers, not red flags, but deal breakers in somebody, we should cut them off right away, man. because and sometimes it still come back to where they upset about something, you didn't talk to them, so they try to throw dirt on your name and say you did this or did that. Sometimes that still happens, but it's a lot rarer than if you have a full-blown relationship with somebody that you should have cut off and develop all these feelings, even though this woman was married, man. So as people, we got to learn when to say when early, not let these here feelings and stuff build and something get out of hand like this before we leave somebody alone.
Yeah, fortunately, I've never had a crazy chick situation with me directly, but I've been caught up in those type of situations. My best friend, I remember when we were in the military, he had cut off a chick, and she was a crazy chick. She tried to run us over in a parking lot. Like, she comes smashing through the park, like to where we had to run and jump in the grass type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So I remember experiencing that, and I remember as a child seeing my cousin deal with a crazy chick who, and it was very similar to the situation like we just watched, where she called her brothers. She got into it with my cousin, called her brothers. Her brothers came to the crib and shot my cousin's car up with a machine gun. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, she didn't allow her brothers to get in the apartment, you know what I'm saying? Like, so they didn't get in the apartment or whatnot. But just, Kansas City is a crazy place, man. Seeing stuff like that. Yeah. I have a zero tolerance for violent chicks. So, fellas, that's definitely a deal breaker, man. Even a chick, you can't even threaten me, and we still going. You know what I'm saying? Like, all those things are deal breakers.
What you say? I got brothers, or they got guns. I'm taking that as a threat. They nothing for us to talk about after that. I'm taking that very seriously, especially when there's guns involved.
Yeah, one thing we got to do as men with sisters or whatever the case, we got to start asking these women what happened. Get details about what happened. See if you can determine what happened without being overly emotional. Get the facts before you react to something and have yourself in a bind, in a legal bind, or a bind for your life. Because like this other young man, he didn't go there thinking that was going to be his last night on earth, but it was all off of a lie. Now, they asked the brother when he was on the stand, had you known if that was a lie, that he didn't hit her, that he didn't do this, that he didn't do that, would that have changed you going over there? He said, I don't know. Maybe. But I'm sure it probably would have, because now you're not so emotional to think somebody just body slammed my sister.
And your sister.
Somebody just slapped my sister.
And that's the problem, because women know what to say. It's like, as a teacher, right? When you mad at a student, you know exactly how to write up their referral slip to get them in trouble, or you know what I'm saying, like such and such profanity, and you know what I'm saying, like you can put it, kiss my ass. You're like, you can make the person seem ultra disrespectful, and so it's the same way when women call the cops. Please stop hitting me. And you know what I'm saying, like they
be standing there recording. I'm like,
right, and so guys have had to pull out their phones, other people, third parties, Ring cameras, that'll completely disprove what the woman actually said happened. But if that's a small chance, you know what I'm saying? Like there are way more guys that it has worked against than have been vindicated by video evidence. So be careful out there, fellas.
And we're not disregarding the women who do get abused. Let's make that clear. We're not disregarding those women that actually tell the truth and have these particular issues. Those dudes should 100% be locked up and face the consequences of their actions. But on the flip side, these women that be out here lying, because we know that there's a lot of them out here, they should face consequences as well for filing false police reports and getting these dudes in jail. Some of these men spend years behind bars. Some of them could potentially spend years
ruin their lives
based off of a lie, just like this.
They can't get
man
back
might spend the rest of his life behind bars based off of a lie. And that is what the women should be facing. They should be facing stiff penalties to curb this lying that a lot of them are doing out here. Because right now they don't have any penalties, no consequences. It's just like a kid. If you don't give a kid any consequences for their bad behavior, they're going to continue their bad behavior. So these women need to be punished, man. That's the way I see it.
They're gonna see what else they can get away with.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's change the tone and the direction of the conversation a little bit. This next video that I saw, I had a major reaction to it, so I had to put it in the group chat with the fellas. This is a video clip of a YouTuber. He had a porn star on his podcast, on his live stream, and the woman unexpectedly kissed him. Let's take a listen.
Can I get you on your lips?
Oh.
Colin, you didn't let me. I got his chin, guys.
Dude, life is crazy. Life is so crazy.
I don't know where it's at.
Like,
I didn't kiss it.
Oh man! Now we've talked about in the past. Kissing is a big deal. I know I'm a former hoe. I smashed a lot of chicks. I didn't kiss very many of them. And so for a porn star to kiss me, bro,
That's tough.
man, I can only imagine how furious he was. Like, but he's on camera. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't really react how you want to react in that type of situation.
Hey man.
Oh man.
You want to know why he looked like that? Let me tell you the real reason why he looked like that. Because she just slobbed up him and his boys. I can almost guarantee it. I can almost guarantee it. Come on now, look at it. He got I think he had a shirt on, his boy in the background. And this is how Shorty moves. It is well documented that this is how Shorty moves. Listen, I had an interaction, a DM from Shorty years ago before she became who she was. And I'm like, who are you? And the way the interaction went, I knew what she was on. I'm like, nah, I'm straight on you. But you could tell through the video that that's probably what just got done happening. And that's why he moved back like, whoa, wait a minute now. You just sucked us all up. You just sucked us all up. Now you trying to kiss me? And she like really tried to kiss him on his mouth. Like, nah, man. Ain't no way you gonna get that close to me. You can only get that close. You can only get that close to my pelvic area. Other than that, you ain't coming up here, man. Like, come on.
Yeah.
He knew where her mouth has been. Even if it wasn't on him and his home, he knew where it was before that. So it's like in that situation, it's like, damn, what are you supposed to do? You're on a podcast, you're live in real time. So you push off. It's a bad look. So it's,
I mean, I know them. The self-control it would have took. Man, even if I had saw that happen, I would have been. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like the sound effects I would have made. A porn star, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
them dudes.
I mean, I've seen.
Go ahead.
But I don't even understand how dudes go raw with porn stars. Like it's just certain stuff I'm careful about. You know what I mean? Like, so
I'm
kissing,
straight on that.
Kissing is just is an intimate thing. Like, I can't just be kissing no chick like that unless I really vibe with you like that. Like, I'll blow a chick's back out and won't kiss her for months. You know what I'm saying? Like,
bro.
Nah.
I was at the time when, she DM'd me because she wasn't far from me, like over in the next state over. I was still in my whole phase and I still got turned off by the thought of it. When she told me what it was she did, I was like, really? And it just blew my mind. I'm like, nah, I don't want to be bothered with that. But these here dudes is in their 20s, if I ain't mistaken. They ain't got this chick over there for nothing. just to do podcast. Like that ain't how 20-year. No way.
Yeah.
No way.
They don't did something
Because
before.
she wild like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you seen her on social media, she was down for whatever. Like, whatever, man. I'm with it. But imagine, like, you could tell, like, the look in her face when he moved, like, it had to be some embarrassment there. Like, this dude don't even want to kiss you. And this is the type of stuff that women think they can come back from later on in life. That they think that they could try to rebrand themselves and not be thought of as a hoe no more. It don't work like that for men. Now, you might go to the church and jump in some water and then say, hey, I'm different now. But for men, we like, it don't even matter. 9 times out of 10.
Especially if, you know, when we had old girl a couple episodes back that had done porn. I'm surprised that there are so many guys that are just openly dating porn stars and all that. To me,
well, I mean, Terry, think about it. You got men out here that date any type of chick. They don't really care that they'll, you know what I'm saying, take a stripper or they'll take an OnlyFans model that's got a booty hole all over the internet. They'll take that because, you know, a lot of these dudes just don't care. They don't care.
Well, how can you not care if that's who's gonna be having your kids and who you gonna be building your life with and using your resources on? How can you not care about that?
Because they don't care about them. But you're talking about marriage. Very few of these women get married, Terry, unless they marry somebody in the industry a lot of times.
But you know what? It's not even just what you just said. But here's take it a step further here. What a lot of these dudes that just don't care, sex is new to a lot of those dudes. Like they don't have it in abundance, so some just get it any way they can get it. So they're willing. She was a porn star. She smashed 100 dudes in 100 days. But well, I'll be the 101st.
I guess you got a point. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't. Oh man, Mike then fell down. I guess I can't say that I don't understand it. You know. Like I said, but I just got certain boundaries. Like, and this is another double standard. Because if a guy had kissed a chick like that, like where she's backing up trying not to kiss him, it would have been a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
he forced himself on her.
Yeah, that's a major violation to me. Like I said, I was trying
because she knew he didn't want to kiss her. She knew that. I mean, don't nobody want to kiss you and go backwards.
Right.
Like, that ain't what you do when you want to kiss somebody.
Right.
They didn't get the romantic comedy lean in.
Think about Karen Steffan, Superhead. You know, even after the book came out and, you know, people knew who she was off the sex tape, people still date her. Hell, people still marry anytime.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also the...
Lil Wayne or Bow Wow called her, she still went back and go right back to her husband like nothing happened.
But typically those relationships with them type of chicks most times don't even last. Look at them, because the type of guy that they are with, and then
they don't really like him.
No, and he have a moment sometimes where he like, this is outrageous. Like she was saying, her husband let her go run off with Lil Wayne for a week, or I forgot who the other guy was.
Bow Wow.
And then come back and be like, oh, it was great, honey. Don't no woman respect no man like that. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna respect man? That's what I'm saying. How you can't? Women don't respect no man like that.
How can you even just tell your friends and your family that's it? Like, how can you bring Superhead to your family function, bro?
Man, look, Superhead. I got a chick named Superhead. She gives Superhead. Just moved in the building, even gave a Superhead. Yeah, I remember that. You know, you tell somebody like, hey man, look, man, she just here for a good time. She ain't here for a long time. She here for a good time. You know what I mean? But some people do it, man, not for serious reasons. Because when a dude just wanna have sex with a chick, a lot of times she ain't gotta have no wifely quality. He want her to be as nasty as possible. He just trying to hit anyway and be sane with her so he can say, hey, I had Superhead, or I had this porn star, or whatever. So he can have something to talk about with his guys. Most times they ain't taking no chick like that serious. They just doing it for bragging rights or ego boost. So that's what it is. I ain't got time for it.
All right, man. Look like we up against the clock. We about to take a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna be getting into tonight's topic: Where's Wifey? A male perspective on today's dating climate. Y'all are tuned in to the Ho to Husband podcast. We'll be back in a moment. Hi, I'm relationship coach and author Terry Duran, and I am pleased to announce that my book, It's Not That Complicated, is finally available as an audiobook. So if you don't like to read or you just don't have time to read a paperback book, this audiobook is perfect for you. You can listen to it while you're in your car, while you're at work, etc. In the book, I break down how husband material men think and operate in regards to sex, love, and relationships, and I provide real quality insight on how husband material men approach dating. The audiobook is available on audible.com and on iTunes. All you have to do is go to one of the websites and search for my name, Terry Duran. Go download your copy today. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Ho to Husband podcast. Tonight's episode is titled Where's Wifey? Where we just wanted to have an in-depth discussion about the male perspective on today's dating climate. We see everybody talks about what women think, what women feel, but I wanted to get some perspective or some insight from y'all since y'all are still single. What are y'all? I know, SD, you talk about actively looking for a wife and having plans to get married. What are your thoughts on the current dating situation?
It's tough. You know, it's tough for a man in my position because the options are there, right? It's not like the options aren't there. It's just, for me personally, it's more about fit than it is the options. Because just because the options are there don't mean that they are quality options or options that's going to be good for me. So, you know, even the quality options still have to fit me well as the type of man that I am, because a lot of those options nowadays, they're a little different than what I'm looking for. So it's tough. Jay, what you think?
I think it's tough, but similar reasons. But I think one reason is I think the dating game has changed now. Say in 2023, even back from 10 years ago, 2013, and especially 20 years ago, you know, you can't do the things, say, your father or even grandfather did. You got to move differently, you know, as far as vetting these women, especially now with Instagram, you know, dating apps. You know, a lot of these women try to get something for nothing, or trying to hold out, see if they can hold out for something better or the highest bidder, whatever that might be for them.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of women are you know, kind of putting like an auction type mentality, where they try to see how much you'll spend on a date, or how much you'll cash app them, or how much you'll just give them money to spend freely. So I can imagine, like, being somebody that's been married almost 20 years. I can't imagine encountering women now that just expect me to pay their bills or expect me to send them money just because she's a woman. You know what I mean? Like, all of those things conflict with how my relationship has been with women.
Just think about that video we covered a couple of weeks ago when a woman said, hey, he's a man. He's supposed to go out and have 5 jobs and support me. I just sit around. She didn't say not one thing she had to do to keep that man. She just said about everything he had to do. And there's a lot of women that share that disposition.
I love them too. I love those women, man. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. You want to know why I love them? Because I can eliminate them right away without with nothing, man. I know she ain't even worth a ride in my car. She ain't worth a date. She ain't worth me taking her to Pound Town. So there's no point. Like, at this particular point with me now, I don't even give women like that the time of day. Hey, you can do whatever you want. I don't agree with it. And because I don't agree with it or want that type of woman in my space, those women don't even have a chance to know my name. Call me SD, beloved, because you don't need to know my name. So I love those types of women, man. They like people that are racist, that's outwardly racist. Them the people you like. because you know what they about.
You know where they
It's the people,
stand. Yeah.
yeah, it's the people, it's the racist people that you don't know are racist. That maybe they police officers or doctors or teachers or people you work with, the ones that do little sly things undercover.
Yeah.
So them the type of chicks that I like because they out in the open with it. Be how you are.
But the crazy part, some of them ain't even 9s and 10s to be acting like that, man.
Oh yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it.
It's a lot of overinflated egos, and that's like being married and knowing what it actually takes and what it's like on a day-to-day basis to have a family or a household or whatnot. It's not that much different than people that boyfriend or girlfriend that live together that have a child or whatnot. You're still fundamentally doing the same things. You're pooling your resources to try to better the life of everybody in the household, right? But the things that make it to where you can tolerate somebody for several years, where you can trust them with your finances or your, you know what I'm saying, like your livelihood, and be willing to use your resources on them. You have to act a certain way and show a certain level of respect to get somebody to want to do those things for you over time. And I don't think a lot of women get that.
Yeah, like, man, one thing that I want to do as a man, like when I get married, whatever the case, or even when I got a woman, man, I want to take care of my woman. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I want to do for her, but she got to want to take care of me too. I don't like your mindset got to be in the right place. Just like the woman wants my mindset to be in the right place as a man. She don't want me coming into the situation saying, "Hey, I'm not into all this providing stuff now. Hold on."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't into this protecting. Why I gotta protect all the time? You know what I mean? Like my mindset ain't in the right place, and most women would scoff at that. That's why I scoff at certain things that women come to the table with on some of these podcasts, or to me, period, where they don't want to do certain things or be a certain way. It's all good. Don't do that. You just can't be with me.
You know what's crazy about that? It reminds you of what you said to a couple of women on your live sessions. Because some of these women be like, "Oh, well, it takes the right man to get femininity, or do X, Y, and Z, or I gotta be married," right?
Yeah.
Well, if a woman says I need to be married in order to do X, Y, and Z, I'm not going for that. But the way you explain, he's like, so if I came and said, "Hey, it takes the right woman to bring the masculinity at me," are you going to get me? And she looked at you like you're crazy. Like, hell no, I wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly. Like they don't accept conditional masculinity from a man. They never accept that. So therefore, the man that I am, I don't accept conditional femininity from a woman. You should come, and this is a requirement for a woman that want to get with me. You got to come to the table with your femininity in order and operating in it, just like you want me to come. And my masculinity as a man and how I lead my life, how I deal with you, how I respect other people, how I handle my business with work and kids and such and such, that just enhances the femininity that you come with. I'm not here
supposed to.
Yeah, I'm not here to be so masculine that you stop being masculine. No, ma'am. I'm not putting up with that because it's fake. It's fake. If you have been operating masculinely, and this is a problem for a lot of today's women because they feel like they have to behave masculinely out here in the world when that's false. They just adapt this here attitude. But if I have to push or force you out of masculinity with my masculinity, it's only going to be for pretend until you get what you want, which is the ring or the relationship. Because when push goes to shove, we go right back into our what we have been doing for so long. Yeah, that's now. It's not just something you do. Now it's in you. It's how you are, and I don't want to be bothered with that.
So that leads me to the next question I wanted to ask y'all. So when y'all meeting these new women and you come across a new woman or whatnot, what are some of the green flags that make you look forward to spending more time with her, interacting with her more?
For me, like I was just saying, her being feminine. And so that's how she talks, because the definition of feminine is just traits more associated with women, and it's the opposite for men. Traits that are more associated with men is masculine, right? So it's how she talks, how she walks, how she acts when she's outside, how she posts. You know what I'm saying? Is she twerking at the brunch? Why, or showing off her booty and all of her pictures? Do she talk? Hey, bro, I ain't doing that. I'll suck my dick. You know how these chicks talking? Like, no. Are you a feminine, modest woman while you outside? That's a green flag for me. Do you respect yourself? Do you respect men when you talk to men? Do you see the importance of men? Do you see the importance of men outside of money? That's a green flag to me. If you say, man, you know what? I need a man because I don't want to do everything by myself. I want a man to come in and take some of this load off of me that I'm carrying all alone by myself. And if a woman wants kids, hey, it's so much better if a man is in the home statistically.
Household.
Yeah. So yes, I need a man. Those are green flags to me, man. Or you know what? I want a man to lead me, so that means I have to be submissive to follow him if I want him to lead me. I ain't got no problem with being submissive. Green, green, green. And pretty toes. Green, 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 green. Pretty face. Green, 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 green. Personality, down to earth. Those are green flags to me, man. But it's becoming a lost art out here because submission is a problem. Needing a man is a problem, and following a man is a problem. All of these here things now are issues out here in the dating world for a lot of women. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Those are issues.
Well, masculinity just as a whole is kind of under attack just by society, because
only for
all
men.
the things. Yeah, only for men. Toxic masculinity, like simply discipline a child, or you know what I'm saying, like being firm or strict with a child. All these things are made to make a man seem like a tyrant, or like that's really one of the main benefits of having a man in the household, especially when you're trying to raise teenage boys or boys that are big. You know what I'm saying, like as they're developing to become men. What about you? Jay, what are some of your green flags?
Green flags is like is she being feminine coming into the relationship, not conditional femininity. Another thing is how she carries herself. Is she nice to be around? Hell, does she treat other people well? Is she nice to other people? Like, if she's an asshole to other people, I'm just gonna assume at some point she's gonna be an asshole to me. Another big thing I'm big on is selflessness. Because especially in this day and age, you see a lot of women that's selfish. A lot of women get on these social media sites, these podcasts, talk about what a man can do for her. He need to do X, Y, and Z. And she's not saying one thing she can do for me. She's not saying, hey, I'm in this femininity. Hey, I can cook for a man. Because one of the important things, especially in a marriage, and I think, Terry, you can attest to this, is as a woman, can you be a good helpmate? And I think that gets missed a lot in this. So that's one thing I'm looking at. And, do you bring good vibes? Is there good vibes around you? Like, if the vibe isn't right, if the vibration isn't there, honestly, I don't want to be around you.
Yeah, I mean, those are all things that you should be looking for during the dating phase to try to figure out whether you're compatible with somebody or not long term. I knew, when I was single, I could tell if I really was vibing with a chick through one of our first conversations. Just the way that you would respond to my questions. Like a chick that I'm talking to that ain't asking me no questions. She's not asking me no follow-up questions or things of that nature. Those are all things that I would use to gauge her interest. Because I'm naturally gonna do that for a woman. Oh, for real? You don't look like you ran track. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm gonna ask you a follow-up. I'm gonna make a joke. I'm gonna do something to keep the conversation going, to show, and I'm going to remember those things. You know what I mean? Like, so those are key characteristics where a dating situation is going well. And like you said, you got to be able, from a male perspective, you got to be able to peep a chick that's just there for a free meal or that don't really like you. And so those are some of the things that I would pay attention to. Another thing though is a chick that doesn't put any interest in any effort into contacting me. Like, I'm not about to be the only one texting you or only one calling you.
Yep.
Like, that's a big thing for me. Like, I hit you up 3 times and you ain't reached out to me. That's your last time I'm gonna be reaching out. So
3?
Yeah, I had
One
3
and done.
strikes. Had 3 strike rule.
At this point, nah, man. If
One and
we've been talking, and then you know what I'm saying, I hit you up, and it happens like I give you 2. But if it's something that you just do, nah, you got to reach out to me, man. Because last time I hit you up, you did this before. I'm giving you 2. I ain't giving you 3. And you know I text you last or called you last or whatever the case. Like, and I ran into women like that. You know, where they like, yo, I don't believe in reaching out to no man first. Well, man, forget you. I like when they tell me that up front. I don't even be bothered with them. Like, I'm not finna just be the one calling and texting and all that. You got to show me some interest too. So you absolutely right. If you ain't showing no interest back, you can't say, hey, how was your day? Oh, did you eat? How you feeling? You can't do that, man. Forget you. You all about yourself. And I'm not finna be on your bumper. I'll let these other simps do it. Not me. So that's that.
Yeah, so what would y'all say is the average time limit of dating situations that y'all been experiencing?
Dating? Man,
Yeah.
I ain't like really dated like that. Like dating. Like, so I really don't know. To be honest with you, since
the women getting themselves cut off? You just too busy? So what's going on?
Like, you know, some of the women just, they getting themselves cut off, or they curving themselves because they think they found something better. They baby daddy came back or said he wanted his family back. That's not happening. Like, that's why I'm real weary about women with new kids, man, because I done had a few of them where, we started talking, it's new. I haven't really developed that, have that real connection with them yet. And bang, man, that baby daddy say, oh, man, I want our family back. And then she show up with an extra kid in 2 years. Like, yeah, I remember we talked, man, get away from me. You got another 70 pounds on you and another kid. No, forget you. So, that's one of the things, man. Others is just different things, man, that women will do, man. Some of them party chicks, love to party, love to club, just can't sit still, always in the streets, stuff like that, man. I'd be like, nah. And them the few women that I do like meet or talk to or whatever, because I'm really like, not too many of them make it that way to where I'm actually talking to them. So,
I would say the time limit. I would say give it 3 to 6 months to know which direction you want to go in. Like, you would know in that time frame, okay, this is somebody I might want to pursue something longer term with or not. I think you should know by then. And I think after those, let's just say you dating 6 months to that year, you should know, okay, is this woman for real? Does she fool with you for real or not? Because, hey, you got some women, they'll just stay around where they'll quote unquote settle, and you don't know if she really like it. And some women will fake it. Hey, after a year, you could fake it the first few months, but I don't think you could fake it for a year or 2.
Well, a lot of times, a lot of people, especially during the beginning of the dating phase, people have the tendency to try to avoid conflict with somebody that they're newly dating. So you might not actually have a real conflict with a person until several months in, to where a situation arises where you see that they don't really give a fuck about your perspective, or they don't really respect you because they got mad and said something slick or said something crazy.
Tara, I think you said it best. I think you said like the first couple of months, it's called, the honeymoon phase, where everything is great. You're ready to see this person, the sex is great, everything. The sun couldn't shine brighter tomorrow. Like you said, it's when you get, when you're 7-8 months or a year in, where those conflicts start to happen, and it's how do you handle it when it happens?
Man, bring it up right away. I'm a right away type of dude.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't with this here, man. I'm waiting. No, You got an issue. I don't like it. So I'm gonna let you know, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I didn't like how you did that. Like this one woman I talked to, man, she just kept asking me for money, asking me for money. I said, man, look, I ain't sending you no money, man. Like, come on now, what's up? I just met you. I don't really even know you. Never heard from her again. I'm nipping this in the bud right now. I'm nipping this. Yeah, never heard from her again. Not a peep. And I text her the next day, like, hey, good morning, how you doing? Nothing after that conversation. I'm getting to it because I ain't got time to be playing with these here chicks and find out 2-3 months later that you full of it. No, I'm gonna find out you full of it right now and see if you could take accountability and say, okay, well, you right. I see that. I'm sorry about that. I wasn't trying to do that. That's big because, you know, when something happens and somebody bring it to me and it's like, I can see that. Okay, cool. You know what? I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. It's all right. That's what being an adult is. And if you can't do that right now, I'm not going to be bothered with you.
I mean, like you said, most people are not going to do that. The guys that have had success, the guys that are not afraid to be cut off by a chick because she's cute or she got a big booty or whatnot, those are the guys that I think can move in a manner where they set themselves up for long-term success. But I wanted to ask y'all, with the current rates of divorce and breakups and all that, when y'all hear about all that, I know y'all in the loop on all that type of information. Does that deter y'all or make y'all doubtful about getting married or finding long-term dating situations?
No.
Not me. Don't get me wrong. It makes me weary. It makes me pay more attention. It makes me vet women better now because I have more to lose. But at the same time, I know it's some good women out here. I know that for a fact. There's a lot of them out here. It's just a matter of finding the one that's best for me. I know about these here divorces. I know who's initiating them. I know all of that. I know why they're initiating them. I know all of those statistics. But at the end of the day, I also know that my parents been married 40 years. My grandparents are married 60 years. I got guys been married 15 years. That's, you know, my age, but they got married young, whatever the case, married 10 years. So I know that stuff is there and it's possible, even though it's a lot tougher now. It just makes me more weary of it and more focused on the actual woman instead of just focus on her physical attributes. You know what I'm saying? Like it's also her mental along with the physical. Don't think you're gonna roll up over here looking any kind of way. It's the physical too, but the mental gotta match the physical now a lot more. So
yeah.
Jay?
No, it doesn't deter me either. But like Steve said, it would make me want to vet them even more and see what their viewpoints are on marriage. Like, for example, one of the things I'd vet them on, hey, how do you feel about a prenup? If she looking at me like I'm crazy, like I got 5 heads on me, I don't do no prenups. What the fuck you talking about, nigga? All right. Nope, you're not the one for me. But she says, hey, I don't mind a prenup. You know, I'll do it. Hey, whatever you came in with, you know, I'll leave out of. Hey, I'm good with that right there. So those are things I would look at if I'm gonna, you know, potentially marry somebody. And, you know, like I said, was about 52% divorce rate. So, hey, I'm protecting my best interest. I'm protecting my assets that I came in with.
That's right. If you decide to leave, you don't get nothing. Bye. Bye. Anything outside of something like cheating or abuse, you just got tired. You wanted more. Bye. You leave with nothing is what the prenup is going to say. My obligation. Hey, man, look, I ain't playing with none of these. I done waited all this time. This is what my prenup going to say. You decide you ready to go. You leave with whatever you came with. I see you later. I don't care nothing about what you did over the past 15 years, 10 years, whatever. Don't care. Don't care. You don't get none of my money. You decide to leave. No, ma'am. That's fair. So
yeah, that prenup conversation is always gonna let you know that's the fork in the road, because that initial reaction to that conversation is because I don't really think a woman's gonna change their mind or they gut feeling about that, because it's something Yeah, I was gonna say it's something that has to be once a woman figures out your financial level, she got to be thinking about what it would, what financially it would be like to date you. Man, this was a real good conversation, man. Time flew by with this. Look like we up against the clock, so we are about to get up out of here. But before we go, I want to give another shout out to my man, Brother Soul Productions, for keeping us laced with our background audio. I want to remind y'all to continue supporting the podcast through our Cash App and our PayPal. J and SD, man, I appreciate y'all linking up so we can get this episode knocked out. And this has been another episode of the Hold a Husband Podcast, y'all. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Peace.